Did becoming a furry ruin my life? I mean, in a way, for sure. I mean, look at me. I'm not exactly a poster boy for safer work content on YouTube. If I were got rid of this thing on my head, I'd probably have more subscribers by now. But at the same time, then I wouldn't have you lovely lot clicking that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notifications when I upload videos, and also liking and commenting because it helps out a fellow furry like myself. So let's get on with this video talking about, did becoming a furry ruin my life? Yes! Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to this video. Did becoming a furry ruin my life? That is kind of an interesting question, because there are people out there that will say yes, it did ruin their life, or at least put them into a direction they admit wasn't the best outcome. But that doesn't mean where they are now is the worst thing, and are generally happy with where they are at. Like, I got this stuff from furries, like this from Raccoons Den, linked down below to their channel. It didn't ruin my life, far from it to be honest. I'm actually not sure where I would have wandered to community-wise back then if it wasn't this fandom. I'd imagine I probably drifted to the cosplay community, if not furry. And that is something, as being in a community, it's just a great feeling, whether it be a furry or a cosplay or just something like that. You generally end up in this kind of community somehow, like, it just kind of happens. Sorry if the camera's a bit different, the memory card became full. And then there's this audio from Star Raccoon describing what it was like just a couple of years ago.
Back in the day, in the early 2000s, once furry had fully risen to kind of cult-like status, you didn't tell anyone you were a furry. It was just, you didn't. The CSI did not do the fandom any favors in terms of the cultural zeitgeist at the time. I worked for a convention, and furries were not allowed at the convention. Uh, and there I was on staff. I was closet. I was terrified they were going to find out I was a furry. You hid it. If you were labeled a furry in the early 2000s, that was a death sentence. You couldn't recover from that. You were seen as some weird fetishist or pervert and were treated differently. I remember seeing fursuits at Acon back in 2004, and they were being by themselves, and no one was really interacting with them. And I did so because I was so happy to finally see my own people at a convention, but I couldn't say anything. I couldn't say, hi, my name is whatever it was at that time. And because one, they wouldn't probably have even known who I was. But two, it was just, you didn't do that kind of a thing.
It really doesn't feel like that long ago when furries weren't as widespread. But today, everyone knows what a furry is, and conventions are becoming bigger and bigger that they just don't have the room. But let's talk about me, because I'm the star here. I'm the big important one. Big as white, big like my belly. I swear it's getting bigger and bigger. I really need to lay off for horse donuts. For donuts. Terrible joke, Blazie, terrible joke. See, I would not have made that joke if I wasn't a furry. Which I became a furry back in high school around 2008 or 2009. One of those years when I was like year 10 maybe, and wow. Did it mess with my life. I was already struggling enough in high school with low grades, cause me, big dum-dum, I'm a very big dum-bum. A dumb-bum, I can't even speak properly. And then ah! And then questioning my sexuality, and then bam, furry came into my life, and now suddenly adult Simba is looking pretty damn fine. Like, yeah, I didn't find the YouTube side or the art side of things. No, I found a porn side first. Which, I mean, I blame my brother because my brother found it first, and then, like, he did show me or something. I can't remember exactly how I got a hold of it or something. I cannot remember at all. I think I just borrowed his USB and it had all the furry porn on it or something like that. And yeah. And it wasn't just basic stuff. There was some extreme stuff in there. I'm talking really extreme.
Oh no, I've killed him.
It is a long story, which I do contribute to me just not caring what people are into. It's art. It's harmless. That's how I, saw a lot of that kind of stuff. Just because I play games where I beat people up and so on doesn't mean I actually beat people up. Same goes for what people pour off to. Don't go screaming in the comments about it. I mean, feel free to, because then it lights up my comment section. So yeah, go feel free to write whatever you want down there. But yeah, it's just artwork. It's just art, because again, it's like playing violent video games. They don't make you violent just because you play them. And just because you enjoy a certain piece of artwork or stories or such doesn't mean you actually want to do it in real life. But that's a whole other argument. Anyways, yeah, so I was a young lad seeing these weird pornographic just fandom and porn of my favorite characters, but slowly realized, no, that's only a part of it. It's like a slice of pizza, the porn slice, and it's so good, yum yum in my tum-tum. And then you remember, oh yeah, there's more pizza to eat. I don't know, I'm not good at this, but I did realize there was just more to this fandom. There are other slices of a pizza. And I wanted to be a part of it, though I wasn't accustomed to the internet for a very, very long time. I did not grow on it at all. The only way I could access it was on my phone back when apps were starting to become a thing, where they were still in their infancy stage, and it was real bad, but at the same time, that's back when Facebook was at its best, when it wasn't so spammy, so full of bots and all that. Which still wasn't until the end of high school. But yeah, I wanted to take part of the fandom. So I started writing, I started drawing, but I also started role-playing a lot. During class, even. Yeah, I'd hide my phone under the table and role-play, and in hindsight, it was not the smartest thing to do. Probably one of the most stupidest things I've done, as it distracted me from learning, and it was just dumb. It was so stupid of me. I really do regret doing all that. But at the same time, because I made a lot of American friends, it was the only time I could talk to them was during school times, and so, yeah, it was not the smartest thing I've done. Again, I'm a big dum-dum. Because, yeah, again, it distracted me from learning, and well, here I am, 30 years old, and I've never worked a day in my life, because I am just a dum-dum. I'm so dumb. I'm so incredibly dumb. So what did I do? I became a YouTuber, but specifically a furry YouTuber. Probably also not the smartest idea, because after 10 years, I finally became a YouTube partner. But maybe if I didn't wear this thing, I would have done it in 2 years, maybe 5 at most, because I would have attracted a different audience. Because this is a very niche kind of thing. Even the very huge kind of furry, fursuiting YouTubers, still only reach a certain point, and they won't generally ever go higher. And maybe I could have done better with friendships if I wasn't a furry and still had my old high school friends. Maybe I would have found a partner by now. If I was just in the gay community, or hell, stayed straight before I found the fandom and decided, yeah, I want that. I want a big muscular lion to dominate me. Maybe I would have had a better relationship with my family instead of being the one that dresses up as a fox on weekends. Which then, saving up for a fursuit is that's thousands of dollars that could have gone towards a house, just be put into something else, put into some other kind of clothing to help my style and make myself look all nice and fancy and just look good, and instead I look like this. And again, I don't have a job, so saving that much money was a lot of work. And just, yeah, would have been better off putting into savings, because I have no savings. I'm doing my best, I really, really am. But it's been so difficult to do so. Maybe I wouldn't be so much of a loser who has nothing to show for it if I wasn't a furry.
You're lying.
Or do I? You see, I failed school, not because I'm a furry, because I really am just dumb. Because I was always getting C's and D's throughout my schooling life, throughout primary school, I was getting C's and D's. Throughout high school, before I found the fandom, I was still getting C's and D's. I was not a smart person. I was not getting good grades. It's not because I didn't study or anything. I really, really tried, but I don't really know. I don't really have an answer for the grades that I got. I thought I would do pretty well, but I would get C's and D's, and I don't have an answer for that. So it wasn't because I was a furry. I don't have a job because of my sheer terrible anxiety and depression. I've always been a very shy, quiet kid, and slowly that turned into anxiety as I avoided more and more things, which then turned into depression. So I've always been like this. I've always been like that. That has nothing to do with me being a furry. I lost my high school friends because they just never bothered to contact me after high school. I didn't tell them I was a furry. At least one of them might have known, but I never was open about that. They just kind of just, I don't know, I was kind of just there in the friend group, and yeah, no one contacted me after high school, and that's on them, not on me. I don't have a good relationship with my family because one threatened to kill me and another said I had a black heart, and living with my dad forced me to eat dog food because there was zero food to eat in the house, and yeah, that was a whole other thing. I literally, as of filming this, I literally had 2 things of therapy yesterday. 2! Which I had to describe all this. I apologize if my head is in the right place. Because I had to go to a psychiatrist psychiatrist in the morning, and a psychologist later in the afternoon. It was a day. It was a day. Yes, things would have taken a different path for sure. Absolutely. But I have so much anxiety, there's no way I could have ever made a YouTube channel, for example, as I witnessed rewatching my first vlog. I have improved talking on camera so much over years, all thanks to this guy. I can still barely talk in front of a camera, you've seen me kind of forget words and all that, it happens way too often. And that happens worse when I'm not wearing this thing. It's really bad. I'm really bad at talking. It's such a basic thing, and I can't do it. And specifically, I really don't think I had the capabilities back then to ever make it big anyway. I never had the money for good cameras, good setups. I never had the room for a PC. I still don't have a PC. I use a laptop. I've been using a laptop for over a decade. That's all I've had. I've never had a good PC. And even if I had one now, there's no room for it. There's nothing I could do. I mean, I don't have the money. I just can't. And so, yeah, even if I wasn't a furry, I don't think I would have ever been able to really get one. Nor do I actually like PCs, just in terms of the solitude with them or something like that. Just the idea of being in a corner or being against a wall, you got the screen in front of you and then just your wall. I hate the idea of that. I hate that. It sounds terrible. It sounds so lonely. I can't imagine living with friends and such and just being plastered to your computer all day with just your screen and your wall, and that's all you're looking at. I like having my little table set up where it's just a little table that I can move around anywhere, put in the living room, have my laptop on, and I can still interact with friends and all that just fine, and still watch TV and all this stuff. And yeah, so it's kind of a moral thing as well, that I just don't like the concept of PCs and computers and kind of just being locked into that. Sorry for that little rant. But point is, I never had any of that stuff. Yes, maybe I could have put my money into what I put into my very first fursuit, into getting myself a good PC, but I didn't know anything about them back then, because I didn't even, I didn't have the internet back then. For a long time, I didn't really have just, full access to the internet, just whatever on my phone, and I didn't really understand it. I really didn't. That was just kind of my life, and so I just wouldn't know what to do. I really don't know as well if I would have had a job already or not. As I mentioned, with my anxiety and my depression, that's what's been keeping me away from so much stuff. But at the same time, because of the furry community, I've also managed to travel around Australia, visiting Melbourne, Queensland, and Brisbane, and making lifelong friends along the way. I don't think I could have ever done that by myself, all because I wanted to go to a furry convention. I organised the hotels, I organised the flights, I did all that because of just my pure excitement to do so. I really don't know if I could have ever have done that, like, by myself, because I don't know what I would have gone to if I was just a normal person, I guess. You are normal if you are furry, you are, okay? I was just making a joke, I guess. I also write stories, and sure, now, I may have written my first novel by now, maybe even several, and become a decent, well-selling novelist, because that's kinda a dream of mine, I guess. But again, anxiety, depression, all existed beforehand, and even then, I never really had ideas or the drive to write, until I became a furry, and I wanted to join in on furry stuff. I couldn't do artwork, but I could write. Now, I know I talk about being a writer, but never show my stories or reveal where I upload them. Like, there's a couple I upload to my Fur Affinity account. That's about it, and they can be very naughty. But there's more that I don't show, because they are very, very, very naughty, and comes with me seeing various kinks when I was younger and such, when I discovered the fandom, and now just don't care what people are into, as I said earlier. I can write stories with various lewd kinks because I really do not care. Nothing makes me bat an eye, though there's some weird shit you guys get me to write sometimes. Absolutely, there's some really weird stuff I've been requested to write. Sometimes I do them because money, but there's some weird stuff I've been requested to write. Not to mention, if you're going to be like a porn artist or porn writer and such, be open to doing kinks, because you're gonna make so much more money off it. And you will realize there's an entire world out there that's just so naughty and like extreme stuff. There's so many out there. You will make bank. Because of me not caring what people like and being able to write such stories, I have written over 500 stories, over 2,500 pages, and over 100,000 words. I have made enough money to buy multiple suits, my $3,000 laptop, my multiple cameras that I bought, one I bought quite recently, my consoles, my furniture, which, yeah, I bought the new bookshelf recently, I bought a new bed recently. So, yeah, that's all thanks to my writing. Yes, I could probably put that money away into savings. Yes, I could. I realize that, but I'm so far behind at this point that there's no real point in saving huge money. I'd rather be happy than have to kind of save constantly and never have anything to eat and never have anything fun, or just not have the most boring room. I cannot do that. I need something to make me happy. I'm depressed enough as it is. All because I became a furry, that I can afford these things that improve my life and just make me happy. I also have the bestest friend I could ever ask for. Yes, I had one in primary school, but we kind of fell out during high school. Nothing serious happened. We were just in separate classes and just made separate friends in high school. And I really missed having a best friend, and now I got one because of the fandom. And if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't be here today in that kind of way. And that's all thanks to the furry fandom. Though I've also received a lot of hatred and death threats for being a furry, and, like, I can't really go out in public and be open as a furry without being called weird or creep. Can't really wear a tail without being stared at, kind of thing. And that could really, really mess with your mental health. It really absolutely can. And I've had so many mental health problems, and, like, there's a lot of, like, I've had depressive episodes and panic attacks during furry things, during furry stuff, conventions, or just being out with the furries and such, where I'll just feel depressed, and just there's furry stuff in life that it has kind of messed with my mental health, yes. And in a way, that could ruin your life in, that kind of bad way, the extreme kind of thing that can mess with your life. And for someone like me, whose brain doesn't work well, not because I'm dumb, well, I am, as I've discussed many times, but because of the depression and such, and just, my brain isn't good, it can get sad very easily. It sucks. It sucks when, like, just a little minor inconvenience kind of happens in the fandom, and it can kind of mess with me. But again, I've also made a lot of money through my writing commissions because of being a furry. I made some great friends all around the world, and in particular my best friend, which I live with. And who knows where I would be living if I weren't a furry. I've been able to get somewhere as a YouTuber, very slowly, but more than I ever believe I would as just a normal kind of human. Being a furry helped me realize it's okay to still think and be like a kid. It's okay to like cartoons and cuddle plushies. There's nothing wrong with that. Being a furry really helped that with me. Like, I used to cuddle plushies in high school and such, and, would consider myself a weirdo. Consider myself, no, this is not wrong, so I would throw the plushies to the floor and, like, no, I can't do this. This is weird. You don't do this as a teenager. Becoming a furry realized everyone does it. It's perfectly okay. There's a lot of people out there who do it, and it's okay. The community has helped me a lot, and just helped me to realize it's okay to be who I was, to be who I am. I was this way before being a furry. The fandom just helped me realize it's okay. It also helped me in my sexuality, which, I'm still struggling with to this day, which, is kind of just, that's kind of normal for people. Some people really do just struggle with their sexuality and genders and all that stuff. I'm really, still trying to figure all that stuff out. But I was able to go, oh, this is hot. I like this. This is what I'm into. Instead of going, I don't know what I like or what I want. I struggled for years until a fandom kind of helped me with that for the most part. I discovered a couple of weirdos who are just like me, in other words. So, did becoming a furry ruin my life? Well, I just don't know, because this is who I am and have been for maybe around 15 years now. I'll never know if it ruined my life, because this is just my life. Ruining your life would be more or less doing a crime and going to jail. Yeah, you just ruined your life. The real question is, do I regret it? Maybe. But honestly, I do look so damn good in this thing. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. This was much longer than originally intended. I am so sorry. I hope you stuck around, because now I want you to please comment down below if you think, like, being a furry kind of ruins your life, or like, what are your kind of thoughts on that question? Let me know down in the comments below. Please do follow me over on my socials in the links below on Twitter and Blue Sky. And I also have a like button, so hit that like button, and please do subscribe to my channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and VitoFox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.